Because otherwise, the wall goes up, the curtains are opened, and it is just, you're just dead.
Yep. And honestly, I think Bro, bit of an edge in this draft. I feel like the priority on the Azir over the Talia here.
Quite a bit. Okay, Croco coming in, KT at 50%, shifts the sands, and Croco wasn't interested. He just wants to try and deny this dragon that's just going to be secured now. The crab should go over to Gideon.
I don't need to run back, and now...
Oh, Vital. Oh, dear. That's... Oh, he's moved out. Never mind. Okay, Lehens is rotating over, though. Polo is in a lot of trouble. He tries to get over, and KT says no. Looks to try and get out, but the burn is going to tick down, and Croco grabs that kill. A 1-for-1, but the Cyclone's now going to come in. There's the Glacial Prison, as now Vital stuck in a bit of a hole here as the threaded volley not really doing too much, and Closer doesn't have any mana at all. Still, the Equalizer goes down, and that is going to be a dead Varus. Lehens goes down as well, and it looked like things were kind of okay for Nongshim, and then they absolutely weren't. And it looked kind of cute to start things off, right? He was trying to crash his way over the wall. They deny that with the Emperor's Divide, and then KT instantly pops like a balloon. And that was the beginning of the end there for Nongshim. So the Bro composition working out very nicely. About 800 gold is going to be their advantage for now. It's not end of the world, right? Like, Nongshim still have this comp that can stand and deliver pretty effectively. Oh, Lehens has snuck into this position, though, as you can see.
He want to be here anymore.
They're going to have to go for... Oh, my God. He finds the max range hook now as Gideon's going to come in. Flashes forward. The Winter's Wrath comes down, but Morgan does manage to get the Equalizer off. A teleport coming in now for the Bros as now Kingan's on the wrong side of it. And there goes Lehens. Closer turns up. It's all 5 members of the Bros. And they will be able to take out Kingan as well. A disaster for Nongshim. It looked like maybe an angle had been found, but just not enough damage.
To finish off the fight, Vital wasn't there in that fight at all. And you know, you're against a Jhin. Jhin doesn't have to move nearly as far as a Varus does to impact the fight. Put his full combo into Morgan, I think he would have just died. Like, the fight might have still gone wrong, but he should have just died.
Well, Kingan is going to just die.
Yeah, that's what you... So, see Morgan, he put his damage into Kingan, and Kingan just died. That's kind of...
That might have been, like, a mistake for the Bros. Just didn't put as much thought into it or something. I don't know what it is, but this is an odd way to be drafting into a team that obviously wants to play Talia if you can.
Ari's done pretty well, but the fact that it's that you get to pick the Talia when the Azir's already taken was really, I think, the big blunder that came out.
I guess we're not really saying it's over yet, as all of that vision that they had earlier on the top side of the map is going to pay off. This Rift Herald does go over to the Bros. Still, KT's going to be able to lock down this bottom outer turret.
Yeah, it's good to see Nongshim at least doing things on this side of the map, because right now they're kind of at the point where they can't really contest. Not quite enough to kill it, but it's going to be so low. Will go down pretty easily afterwards. You can see Crocker finishes it off.
The Trinity Force going to help out, locking that one down, just gets in there, commits for it, is now Kingan looking for a shock blast. We'll be able to find it there, but...
Oh, he's in trouble.
Oh, God, yeah, this is real bad. He's going to have to take the red carpet. Manages to flash over, so flash now on cooldown, but Kingan does survive. He's now looking for a bit of a reset play as KT. Possible wraparound angle, but they've got so much vision in this area. The Bros now 50% health on this dragon. Morgan looking for an angle, no equalizer for the fighters now. Lehens looks to go in. Knockups are plenty here on the side of Nongshim as KT is free hitting Emperor's Divide. Just hits Croco, but does do a lot of damage. And the dragon will be secured. The Bros, very low health. Everyone flashes out of the pit. Adding up some minion waves here towards the bottom side. Gideon standing on top of a ward very comfortably by the looks. He's going to be able to now clear it out as Lehens moving in. Even with the Frost Armor, Gideon is still going to explode. He just doesn't seem all that tanky as the Equalizer once again on cooldown to start this fight off, but there is no smite available for Nongshim. And even though these this is kind of a good spot for Nongshim, because all of the resistance is being shred. It means that this poke damage is going to be real. You can see already Vital getting to work. They take down Lehens. There's the curtains being called now as well, as it is Otacon secured the Emperor's Divide from beyond the grave as Vital just trying to do what he can. Kingan as well just doesn't have the damage. And Nongshim, I think that was their last gasp, and it was just a mouthful of water. I think they're going to drown.
Gotta give credit to Bro. They really decisively made that play. The longer that took to go down, the more poke Nongshim could get. Oh, looking for Kingan.
Yeah, Kingan is going to be found here as now the flash forward from Vital. He wants to kill Croco. He gets the heal back. And the Hail of Arrows is not enough to take down the monkey. Oh, man. The Bros just playing out of their minds here. They'll be able to take another outer turret. Can you believe it?
5 can be really frustrating to play against, so...
I think people are going to be thinking twice as well when it comes to blind picking things like Sejuani, right? Like
Sejuani Azir was drop off. I think if you're playing Sejuani, it's because you have like Sejuani Gwenna, Sejuani Yone, or
yeah,
both.
or you're picking Sejuani into something that you know you can play into, right?
Yeah.
Like they pick Skani, you're like, okay.
Where they ban Trundle to get the Xin Zhao because Trundle can do pretty good into that. Like you jump him, you steal the AD. But no, yeah, I think.
And they could have just played Xin Zhao. Like Xin Zhao Talia was the thing that they could have done.
They could have picked it time, but you can see that Bro just aren't even interested in doing the Baron.
Oh dear. Yeah, Croco just wants to kill Kingen, and by himself, he takes out half of his health bar. The equalizer comes in, that's going to finish it off.
Yep, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you've just sent your jungler for a bot side play.
Might be onto something. They might be thinking the same way you are there, Orcs. Prioritizing this Baron to teleport in from the Talia as the engage onto Lehens is decent. He's going to have to flash away, throws down the anchor as the equalizer is going to be wandered through here by Gideon, but Lehens is going to be the target and he's taken down. Bro, do invest a fair bit into taking down the support, but now they're looking to just grab themselves this Baron. There are control wards all over the place right now as Closer taking a fair bit of damage. There is the piercing arrow coming through, and this Baron is taking a long time to kill. Remember, this is a Jhin composition. They're not exactly the best at taking down Barons. The flash forward from Morgan, though, as out goes Calix. He's trying to survive. Gideon has a whole lot of tankiness, and it's Polo that just goes down. That's a good answer here for Nongshim, as once again, not pressing too far forward. Calix looking for an angle, and Croco is going to find him. Calix, you can't be flanking as an Azir into Dark.
That's immediately punished.
And he just, no need. There's no need to do that. You don't need to go for those flank angles. It is going to give the soul over to the Bros.
Baron, you can see the vision very in favor of Nongshim. They'll let Polo face check.
Well, he is going to do that. He does take so much damage utilizing that aftershock. They kill him, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? It is support for support. But Gideon's also doing his very best to try and get himself out. The curtains get called, and Closer finds a rock to the back of the head there for Bristle and Sejuani. Croco does find Vital. There is the Cyclone onto both of them. He's going to go down to his GA, and then once again, Closer just throwing rocks all over the place. That's Morgan finding a harpoon towards his opposite number there as well, and now Croco going to be pushing towards the inner turret. The Bros, this one's over. They have cleanly shut down Nongshim from this one. Gorgeous punishment of the draft there from Nongshim. And the Bros just playing equally as well alongside it, and that's what you love to see.
Trying to take down Polo, who had that Celestial opposition, making him very bulky against that burst.
I learned that from the LTA.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, cool. No. I had that one explained to me.
Yeah.
That was very, very cool. Good to know. 7-0-10 on the Wukong, though. He could have built whatever he likes.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fine. He has got cash to spare. There's Calix. Oh, there we go. Some bounty gold, boys and girls. There it is. And it means 0. It's an 11,000 gold lead. And the Bros, they've even got Weaver's Wall, right? They've got the most comfortable sieging at this stage of the game.
Yep. And the thing is, Bro just aren't hesitating. They're being quick. They know the only way Nongshim can find an advantage is they start to land consistent poke. Only Polu's been poked down. Everyone else is healthy. And they're just not giving any space for Nongshim to breathe or get set up.
Yeah, this is really, really rough. Vital does at least have his little shield, but they can't even move towards these siege minions to take them down. The Bros are able to stand so far forward to deny any sort of entrance. Gideon, he really wants to throw out that Glacial Prison, find an angle, but the Equalizer doesn't really do too much. The Weaver's Wall does come down, though, as Closer moves himself out. Lehens realizing that they're going to have to go for something, but you can't really make something out of nothing. Nexus turret's going to be next to fall, and Nongshim just have no money. They have no chance. Kingen is looking to defect, and he's not even allowed to do that. He'll be taken down. On the Fountain is not even safe as the Nexus goes down, and the Bros move to 3 victories in a row. I don't know, it looked great for Nongshim as their first 2 picks were coming in, and then things went a little strange, right? Okay. See what that turns into, as Lehens going to be discovered here. Croco just going to front flip out of the grand entrance. As that control ward will be eliminated. Some lower health bars here as the Arcane Storm comes down and Closer will get engaged on. It's a great gravity field as Polu getting amongst it. These health bars are going so low as Jiu needs to get himself out of their lands, finds no one, and out goes Calix. They don't lose anyone, but Hype is going to find the kill on the jungler. That's first blood going over to the Ezreal, and Hype taking matters into his own hands.
Polu, though, his play in that fight, you know, we've seen Alistar be so heavily prioritized.
They will have mid lane priority. Maybe they'll need to move Jiu into the areas. Okay, Calix looking aggressive as he finds the ulti, gets the backflip as well. One more, and he will be able to get it. And that, as I was saying it, he just picks up the kill. The flash out from the ulti that wasn't going to hit. He just gives it to Hype because he deserves it. He's got himself his solo kill, and that is the answer. No. Well, I don't think the noodles are out of the woods just yet. I think the Brotax is still looking fine.
Yeah, no. Oh, Morgan.
Okay, Fate's Call going to come on through there as he does ult to make sure that he doesn't get CC'd, but I still think that as he gets corralled, he's still going to get taken down. Yet the sticks get ripped out. Where's that Brotax? Is now the engage onto Kingen, but he's hook-shotting away, and he is absolutely fine. May not be taken without a fight. As never mind. Jiu's on the top side of the map, so not likely. That one is going to happen as Blast
Dragons for Bro would actually be huge.
Yeah, this is massive. And that is just going to be taken. Next one going to be a Chemtech, and I can see you're right here. You're paying attention, but there wasn't enough Brotax. Follow over the wall, Gideon in position. Calix moving forward. Croco going to get discovered here by Gideon. Or is it the other way around? As the quickness comes on through, they manage to CC Croco for so long, but he goes untargetable, gets over the wall, and the gravity well is so good here from Closer. Polu's will is unbreakable, but I don't know whether his body is, as he will be taken out. The True Shot Barrage, not enough to kill Calix there, and now Gideon looking for even more. I don't know how that worked there for Calix. Just needs to be a race towards that first turret. Bottom outer is looking low for the Bros.
I'm going to ask you a question.
What's up?
Max.
Yes.
We saw an item being built towards by Morgan with a longsword in it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This is actually kind of hype. You were talking about how broken this item is. As down goes Lehens. He's just dead. Not too much
Did
an
you
answer
think
there.
this would be the item? We'll see what Morgan's able to do this game.
And he wants to be stacking the grasp as well, you know? So he does want to be making sure he gets as many auto attacks in. It just gives him added incentive and more safety to do so.
Yeah, but it doesn't make the cool noise the Heartsteel does, you know?
Yeah, true. We don't see many Scions even build Heartsteel, so I
honestly,
guess itself out. May not save the turret, though, as we can see. Two members up here. Hype now possibly in trouble as Jiu going aggressive. Fate's Call going to get on in there as the double charm comes through. Gideon with a great follow-up onto Hype, and over the wall goes Jiu, and they take down the Ezreal. Croco trying to keep them interested as the teleport does come in. Croco is untargetable, but then just dead. And bro, they're trying to salvage an already doomed situation, and it is not quite working. Closer gets knocked up, but Jiu is going so low, the Ren doesn't quite work. He gets over the wall, he gets the kill, and now it's Gideon to take down Closer. He flashes so the gravity doesn't hurt him, and he comes down soft as a feather.
Able to find a huge pick there onto Hype, and bro opted into a lost situation. Instead of it just being a 1-for-0, so many members of Bro come down, ends up being 4-for-2. Gideon gets a chance to throw down the Herald. It will be Morgan who gets a tower first, though. So
for the Chemtech stacking. The Quadra Chemtech soul. Imagine it. All right, Morgan going for a little bit of a run here. And they're going to try and turn it into a potential engage. Calix getting taken down relatively low, and they're looking for the turret first. They will be able to find it. Hextech Ultimatum. And Morgan, he doesn't like ultimatums. There are 4 people here. It's so unfair. And no real options, but as we said, it's an ultimatum. There is never really an option.
Yeah, not gone so hot right now for Bro.
No.
And, you know, we said this composition for Nongshim, you need to get the ball rolling. You need to get ahead. They have done that. They have ticked the boxes for what they needed to do. And right now, you have a Fed Calista, you have a Fed Zinzao, even a Fed Camille. All positive things for this comp.
Conversation is a really interesting one because Bro have such a standard team fighting front to back comp, but there's also the fact that who deals with Kingen in side lanes, right? Like Calix, when he gets on top of Closer, does any, like, if he's ever discovered, he can't side lane to answer that.
That Atakan is just gone.
It's just dead, yeah. As Lehens is going to be spotted by Croco. He's Rakan.
I think the thing with the Camille on the side lane is if Morgan's playing it correctly, you shouldn't really be under threat.
The wave?
Yep. He really wants to kill the wave.
I love that.
It's not clear. Not really seeing the Sundered Sky tech get that much value so far, but, you know,
it's
who
not
am I to
about that.
question our lord?
Exactly. Okay, special delivery here as the Hextech ultimatum comes in. Lehens was in position, and Kingan's now trying to escape, and he may just do that. Morgan looking to come on over, he flashes after Kingan and finds the Q, but he's super far up now, and Polu is in danger on the back end. KT's going ridiculous mode, but isn't going to be able to find too much. Still, they manage to take down the cow, and Closer goes in. And so does Hype. He's able to take down the Akali, but at what cost? Gio is just throwing sticks into everyone and ripping them out. That's a double kill for the Kalista, and they just kind of forgot about him.
Bro were the ones forcing that fight, and we're like, hey, maybe we found a pick here, maybe we found something, committing so many resources to try and kill Kingan, and then just opting into this crazy fight.
I want to get the comms from Bro with Morgan just saying, got him. As he's like in between two turrets.
It's a misallocation of funds.
Yeah.
I think so. You get a pass on this one, Chatters. I don't think this was a fun. The amount wasn't the problem. And now the thing is, they're looking towards this Baron. Closer doesn't have a stasis anymore. The Seeker's Arm God is broken. Croco doesn't have flash.
Yeah, KT hunting for a bit of an angle here as Croco going to be discovered on a control ward. In goes Lehens, finds the triple knockup as the Hextech ultimatum comes down as well. Croco just not allowed into this pit as KT is going to find him, and then he gets distracted by a low Ezreal. It's a double kill. Both of the carries eliminated by the young mid laner of Nongshim. Bro will be taken down. Morgan is going to be able to kill a control ward, but that is all they can get, and Nongshim, it took him a little bit of time to wake up, but wake up they did.
Yeah, maybe that was the issue with them being first series of the day. They have finally fully woken up, and they are playing with this comp with such confidence. They know the win con, they know the game plan. Lehens using this Rakan to great effect here, getting on top of all of the backline of Bro.
Yeah, Lehens honestly has had an incredible game thus far, and I wonder what the Wadid TV is going to tell us about this one. As so many of his plays were so pivotal. There's the knock-up on Apollo, who also wasn't playing too badly, but Nongshim able to follow up just gorgeously on what Lehens has been able to put down. 5-1 and 5 for KT as well, a return to form for him, as the Nexus goes down and we got a 3-gamer on our hands. With how this draft has eventuated, I think once again this is looking a lot more like game 1 as opposed to game number 2 for the Bros. As far as this draft is concerned, a lot more cohesion. Yeah. Is just going to try and take his stuff. He doesn't really care about killing Bambi. He just wants to make her have a rough time. Not going to actually work out here, though, as Closer down relatively low, and Polu in position early. There's the flash forward from Croco as KT. He avoids the ult from Closer, but he's still just dead. First blood going over to the Yone. And the Corki just caught out of position. Kingan not interested. But,
you know,
KT starting to be able to stand his ground and get some work done here, as he has a couple of long swords in his pocket. Gideon wants these grubs, should be able to get all of them. Morgan coming on over, and we'll try to convince him to leave, and Gideon's like, nah, not really convinced. So he's going to take the last one and move on.
Leaves on his own terms.
He knows that there isn't very much of an option there outside of call the rest of your mates. And they know that one as well, as Polo getting taken down so low. He'll be killed. KT's going to grab that one for himself, and great.
This passage of play, I think, started really smart from the... Oh, Croco.
Okay, watch out. It's all right, Lehens. 50% health on him now, as Gideon can actually heal him up. He gets out of the bullet time, has another Eclipse, and there is the sleep onto Gideon. Croco is going to sacrifice himself for it, and Kingan getting the kill is probably bad news, but he gets 2 for his trouble. There is the knock-up as Kingan will just get shot in the back of the head by Hype. And down goes the Crocodile immediately. I didn't understand it day 1, and still don't understand it whatever day this is. So much. Like, you know, I get the gist. So does Closer. The gist is he's dead.
I just love seeing this. It's like you have Lehens layering all the CC perfectly, and then Jiwoo's just like long-range orbital cannon coming in.
To another objective point, as far as these feats of strength are concerned. Bro, I've already locked that one down for the kills. He always just turning up for the scraps, but knows that there'll be a bunch of souls left on the floor, so does collect them for himself. 37 going to be the count.
Yep.
And it could mean that Nongshim not going to be able to fight for this Rift Herald, although Gideon trying to get himself in position. There's the ultimate going wide from Polo, but still, they're able to secure it.
Nothing as it used to.
I don't think they buffed him that recently.
Yeah, right. I didn't really see it. But that is still going to be feats of strength going over to Bro, but maybe it's going to be a team fight victory here for Nongshim. However, Bros are able to get themselves out of the way. Bowling Ball will be avoided. And Hype just walked up to the outer turret in mid lane and killed it. So that means the Bros get feats of strength.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the things with the MF. Once you hit that Bloodthirster spike, even a Senna who has a lot of sustain just can't do anything, because anytime you trade, she just heals up off the wave and keeps pressuring you. So getting a lot of benefit there for the side of Bro. It will be a tower traded back though by Nongshim to keep the gold close, even if the feats of strength have already been locked in.
Yep.
800 HP.
Yeah.
Really changes the dynamic of fights.
It does. Kind of weird that that's the case, but I guess it makes sense. The Solar Flare going to slow down Polu, trying to reposition here as we can see the knock-up as Kingin in the bounce house. He's now going to get sleepy as into the backline they go. The Dawning Shadow trying to keep them alive as Morgan is massive, but he needs to be able to hit things to get that health back. As both top laners are dead, it's a relatively even trade as Closer trying to get in there. Lahen's going to use him as a taxi to get through, and Gideon, he doesn't find the spear. Polu able to get himself out as Closer is just going to kill him. The spear goes wide, and why is every team ever just baited by Poppy? Sleepy along top of it. Yeah, so Nongshim will start this up. Morgan taking a lot of damage here towards the bottom side. Teleport at the ready for Calyx and Morgan, but Morgan needs to recharge that health bar before he gets back. And then the teleport is going to come on through from Calyx. That'll get him towards his top lane. Polo and Croco in the area. Gio just trying to push them away. And it looks like a turn is being considered here from Nongshim. Great knock up there from Closer as Kingin's health bar getting lower. Out goes the Senna now, but she has the Dawning Shadow, and the Poppy does go down this time. They are just going to burst through the Otacon. There is the secure by Gideon. Lahens doesn't find the Zenith Blade, but neither is there the knock-up from Closer, and over the wall they go. The Lord will be smote down where he stands. There is the bullet time, but Lahens is there to stop it. And Hype, he gets a tiny bit of dopamine, and then it's just torn away from him. Closer now, he will also get engaged on by Lahens with 100 health, but he has Eclipse, and so of course he's never gonna die, and this time, Nongshim destroy the team fight.
Great setup there from Nongshim. So funny that Jiwoo gets knocked away and then uses the global ult to answer in return. Really where you start to get a lot of mileage out of that range.
Yeah.
He's approaching the rapid fire cannon as well. There's so much poke on Nongshim.
And their composition will get more and more dangerous. As you can see here, my God, Croco just gets obliterated. There's nothing he can do. Now Polu trying to get himself out of the way. And in the meantime, Nongshim have more health and shields because Dawning Shadow is going to rain down on top. And Nongshim are just not going to stop. They're going to take this inner turret at the same time. Hype has no right walking up here to try and deny this. And yeah, Morgan manages to get an outer turret on the top side, but Nongshim are just feeling fantastic. All of a sudden as well. It kind of feels like Nongshim turned on a dime after that Otacon teamfight victory, and now it's looking doomed for the Bros.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough, but I think what makes it worse is the fact that they're starting to be able to itemize defensively, and Italy not able to get onto target, not able to connect. They are looking to connect now on a Kingin.
Yeah, Kingin just wants to hold this wave away from the turret so he doesn't get dove, and he may not get dove, he may just get killed instead, but Dawning Shadow is looking to try and save his life. Polu can't really tank this forever, but is able to tank it for long enough, and Croco blocks down the kill. The answering turret is going to go down, though, towards the top side of the map, and Nongshim, I think, monetarily do come out on top, but still good for the Bros to be able to take some pressure off the map.
Now with the rapid fire cannon, he's a whole item up currently on Hype, who did go for the boot upgrade.
Calyx has been missed by everything thus far. Flashes over, breaks the chains. Watch out, Eve. Croco will hit a button as he finally lands a Q. And that was all he needed to get the kill onto the Corki. In the meantime, they may lose Baron.
Yeah, this isn't a good trade for Bro.
That's if this Baron does go down, as they're looking to go for the turn. In goes Lahen, Solar Flare not really going to find it, as Nongshim staying on this Baron for now. The Lilia getting closer and closer. This is scary. Closer looking for that angle down to 3K. Croco getting in there. The bullet time not really doing too much of anything. And that is somehow the Renekton taking this Baron. That was more of a risk than you needed to take, Nongshim. And Lehens, he's on walkabout, as we say in Australia. We'll see what he can find. He finds a steadfast presence represented by a Poppy and will be eliminated.
That's the thing, the Senna not doing that much damage to the Baron. The Corki is the one who was the most DPS and he was dead. So Bro had time to approach, but so if you hit it on one person, it's not enough. You need to get multiple, so you can only make kills one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like your other engage is that you either have a TP flank, sure, or you have to like have Polu run at them, which doesn't really work if you're heading straight towards them. You need like a flank angle so you can slam them into the wall. Dragon will be picked up by Nongshim, third of the game. If they get that Mountain Soul, I think Bro's odds drop massively.
It's looking very rough because that is, like you were saying, it's like, okay, I guess I'll win.
Yes. Split push Renekton, the classic.
Yes. Late game, man. You buffed the Dominus. Now look at him in this side lane. What a monster.
It's kind of showing the desperation Bro are feeling right now. They're like, we need a TP flank, we need to go. But they TP flank with an Aatrox who just seem to be getting a sniff of something. They haven't seen the Yone.
Oh my god. Jiu's just kiting them. This whole time, they cannot get on top of him. The flash forward is Jiu's going to get taken down. It takes everything from the Bros, but they get rid of the center. And now Kingen could be in trouble. He's getting sleepy, but this Dominus damage, ladies and gentlemen. And the Baron will be secured. Look at that. We pop into the pit. It's gone. Even the observers are like, wait, where did it go?
Croco held his sleep. He was like, I don't need this. We can kill him. No, you can't. Not that quick.
Definitely gone. As lands immortal once again, but there's not very much follow-up as the Phosphorus Bomb comes down. Nongshim, this might be a little bit of an overreach as they do manage to take down the Aatrox. Gideon goes golden and Calyx is doing so much DPS. Down goes Closer. That's going to be the ace. Just one lone kitty cat left alive and one lone Baron as well. So a little bit of an odd choice there for Nongshim, but with 17 seconds left on this Drake, that's going to be Mountain Soul as well.
Completely different how this plays out. Obviously, jungle is great at healing up with camps and stuff, and we see how much value Calyx is able to get up here.
4v3 this whole time, which they still have. They are going to break open the base, and it is so much more difficult with Jiu alive. Solar Flare not really going to get too much value though, as the spears are now coming in. Morgan moving back down. He needed to try and defend Kingen, who'd already taken down an inhibitor turret on the bottom side of the map. And Nongshim just really limiting the options here of the Bros. As these rockets, man, it's looking ridiculous. The sleep is going to come in. The bullet time not quite working. And in fact, the ulti from Closer pulls Gideon out of it. That's not what you want to see. Morgan gets into the backline, but it's Kingen. It's Kingen, ladies and gentlemen. The world champ difference here as he flashes forward. It's a triple. Is that a quadra? No, it's a snipe away from Gideon. And Nongshim keeping the conversation alive about that legend group. The Noodles looking absolutely fantastic as they take this game. We do have to remember, game one existed, but they really did bounce back very well as they take down the Nexus here. And Jiu looking like he might be a step up over Vital. I do feel like KT kind of got exactly what they wanted. It's a little bit janky as far as the mid jungle is concerned, but I believe that Cuz is going to be able to do just fine.
Oh, no. This is why it's called the Equalizer, because Perfect doesn't have like a true ultimate ability.
Got it. That equalized the playing field as Peter going down very low, but so is Kellen. He finds the hook though. Doctom will be able to answer the kill, and he flashes away Diablo. He's not going to go after him. Doesn't have a flash of his own, and so the Jhin makes it out, but it's a 1-for-1. This is a little fist emoji.
Someone fist bumped him.
Yeah, we need to... Okay, well, there it is. That's BDD's attempt at a fist bump. And Kellen, he came over looking for a fist bump, and he instead just got murdered.
You know, no one fist bumped him, so he was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to be...
Have you... I don't think that's never happened to me, where I walk up to, like, a group of people, I'm like, hey, guys, how's it going? Hold out my fist for a fist bump, and then they just kill me. I've never had that once. Like, you just get punched in the face.
Yeah, that'd be pretty messed up.
Stockton wasn't there. But he had killed him previously, and so it's just Kellen really not having a very good time. Kellen did play with BDD, of course, back in the day. on Gen G, but of course it was more recently that Kellen and Dr. were together.
About him more.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm going to hold back because I'm going to look for a dive here. That's a good equalizer.
Yeah, that one's going to land onto BDD. BDD going to try and get out of the way. Diablo, though, doesn't find a great chance of corruption, but BDD is still going to get cut down. Reset starting to come in here for Raptor as the bullet time is, sorry, the curtain call does come on through. Oh, goodness me. Sobro takes the last one, blocks it for Kellen there very nicely.
That's a team player right there.
Absolutely is. And Daystar,
also great. We know it was a settings issue.
Yeah, he sorted it out. Kellen is flashing in, guys. Perfect is flashing out, but that's a max range hook, and that means that Perfect will be dead. That's 4 people in the bottom lane. They really do not want Perfect playing the game.
Yeah, second ago was 5, and easy trick. You just press R on Nautilus, I'm choosing to believe.
Yeah, we're going with settings. I think that's always the better way to do it. Benefit of the doubt is what our players deserve. BNK FEARX going to get themselves some feats of strength. So some
but no one.
shoot.
It does that thing again. We haven't had it happen often, but no one has boots.
Like Primal Surge, though, helping him out. Because with that little bit of healing, it's going to be working out here as the engage onto Kellen isn't super optimal, as now Peter looking for an angle. That equalizer was fantastic. It was the settings. It was 100% the settings. As Peter looking to get himself out of there. The Magnus Storm is the answer here, as Raptor does go untargetable because it's still looking for spears. And then the curtains get called. Daystar needs to flash to get out of the way of that one, as BDD dealing with these hails of arrows. And no one's dead on either side, but everyone's health bar is basically gone.
A lot of low health bars, trying to get some recalls in here.
They're all on wards. They're all on wards. As he gets out, that was absurd.
Oh, so close, but it does mean pressure given up, so BNK FEARX will get the dragon.
Yep, Cuz still looking to make his way in here.
BDD flying, he's still his ult, by the way. A lot of ults down, but his still available. Kellen's is as well. Those are the 2 tools we're looking at. That equalizer was huge. The charm on a Dr. Army gets really chunked out. Both Sobro and Daystar feel like really doing so much in this fight to force KT away. And then they end up disengaging. Dr. finds an angle to ult, but his only good target is the Ahri, who does have flash.
Yep.
So Bins that
to allow him to do so, but they just don't have the priority. Okay. You'll need to see something from KT. As I say it, BDD goes in, finds the flash. They separate Kellen, who looks to get himself out of the way, and now Diablo having to play DDR at the same time. He takes down the Nautilus, but BDD is sacrificed, and it's a double kill for Raptor. Cuz having to flash away is Doctom. Nothing he can do either, and the answer from BNK FEARX was amazing.
Kellen knows his job. And I think helping to keep Doctor just healthy enough for them to go for this. So KT, they're able to secure the dragon. It won't be a fight. The Atakan won't be taken down now. But denying that dragon is so huge for them.
Stopping his back so he can take the pedal?
Didn't take the cinders, though.
Oh.
Neither did Sobro there.
There's a lot of things on the ground to pick up.
You know, they're new to the LCK. Maybe they don't know the etiquette.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know the etiquette, so it's like they're both helping each other, you know?
Doctom has done half the damage, and in goes Raptor. Out he goes once again, though, as the Deadly Flourish comes on down. Peter is just going to explode. Raptor is out of this fight for the minute, as, oh my god, that was so close. And Raptor is making his way over. He will get the information, but look at this, they're fresh off a reset. And Raptor will be able to say what's going on, but he's just watching. That is just taken.
This is the second objective in a row where KT have been able to take it. So definitely appreciating those, but it does kind of mitigate it a little bit by the raw stats that BNK FEARX have from the boots.
I've seen this before, as he thought he had the sidestep. He did not. In fact, he is dead.
Could have flashed. Decided to hold on to it.
Yeah. And Deadly Flourish does get avoided there by Diablo. That is 3 stacks of blight. If he's hit, he's dead. Yeah, there he goes. That's a solo kill.
And you know what? Sometimes you see a game where, like, you know, 180 carries.
Oh, Challenger fans in the audience there? Pretty sick.
Sometimes you see a situation where one team is winning over the other, and it's not necessarily about any particular role. It's generally like a team diff or something. This game so far...
The last few series. So let's see whether he can channel some of that for the KT fans here, as this dragon is gone. Raptor is gone as well. As BDD just gonna flash on top of him, gets the untargetable, but he does do those front flips, gets himself out of the way. Sobro now looking for the backline as Peter gonna have to crash his way out. Another fantastic equalizer, but they walk off it pretty immediately. And now Kellen finds a knock-up on everyone! Peter goes down first, then they get BDD, none of the damage, left alive, and I don't think a second dragon was worth the lives of everyone!
This ensuing play.
Okay.
Equalizer is huge, such a great angle for it. And then Kellen here, the R flash.
Oh my god.
Gets both Perfect and Cuz, and then obviously the final knock-up at the end onto BDD. Those are the 3 targets you want, because you know.
I mean, they are so... I mean, it's just never going to happen, right? They're facing off against KT and Bro in the same week, and it's the last week. Their last match was against Bro. Like,
but the thing is, I think if KT went into that match in a huge win streak, I wouldn't feel as good about them. But if they lose this series, I'm worried for Gen G.
Yeah, they're straight back up there again. And they're looking like they're at least going to lose this game, ladies and gentlemen. That is great charm. Right as Perfect has the extra movement speed as well, so he just books it towards the enemy team. Cuz gonna die as well, and BNK looking like they can do no wrong at this stage. BDD just setting himself up underneath his Nexus, and the flash forward from Daystar, the young player, making the plays. Peter gonna be cut down where he stands, and BDD the pigeon who could. But unfortunately in this game, he could not, as Doctom as well relegated to his fountain. And Sobro, I don't think he's dying here. In fact, he's got some untargetability to utilize, and that will be the end of BDD and the end of KT's Nexus, as BNK FEARX come out on top in game 1.
I don't want to be hearing my team saying, go, 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 we're all in.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me.
No, I don't think you ever want to hear
whereas
that.
KT have this composition where you have these backline carries, you have 2 champions that I kind of deem as anti-melee champions. So we'll see if BNK FEARX can navigate something in and punish KT for this aggressive move in the level 1.
BDD is going to be able to slow down Daystar, even sidesteps the 5-point strike, which is kind of important. As this is a pretty impatient Sentinel. Kellen's going in as he gets lit on fire. There's that flash you were talking about. And first blood goes to BDD. The win becomes lightning, such high value, as it does so much damage to all of KT. But still, they will be able to get their prize. Goes into the Shroud and pops back up again. Flash still up here for BDD. So Daystar knows that he just has to get out. Going to be first Dragon going over to KT. Next one going to be a Hextech Drake. I hope you're paying attention. They're
doing my best.
So far, it's doing what it has to do.
Yeah.
It may need to do more than that, though, as Daystar's going in. Kellen coming on over as well. The 5-point strike just looked a little bit sad, as Kellen, that one looked a bit sadder. He flashes for it, and Sobro is just coming, looking for the kill. The bully wall blocks BDD, and he gets cut down with the perfect execution. And you can see BDD in the player cam there, not really happy about how that one went at all. Great answering pickup there for BNK FEARX.
BDD felt like he'd calculated every single variable in that situation. He's like, all the CC down, time for me to Realm Warp out. And the bully wall comes in clutch.
They're teleporting in, though. They do not want to give away these grubs. Diablo's making his way over. Kellen doesn't get the Zenith Blade to get in. As Doctom, he's cleansing, but the killer instinct from Diablo will be able to shut down the Ashe, and now BDD comes through, but just the dregs of a fight, and Kellen, he's able to walk it off. He gets himself out.
Will they find him? I guess not.
Nope, he's out of there.
Sneaks away. Some good picks coming through for BNK FEARX.
BNK managed to collect. They do have vision on this, but it is not going to be something that they're going to contest. So that will be 2 objectives going over to KT in the early stages of the game is being taken just to make sure we know what this is going to be. As there's a shuriken backflip. Daystar gets out of the way. Some plates being taken down for BDD as we get in. And there is the dragon secured. It's a mountain. You're off the hook.
Okay.
Beautifully done.
I was leaning forwards.
Flashing.
I was sitting forwards at that moment.
Yeah, they need some extra information, though. As BDD moves up, Daystar is here. And they just look to interrupt Kellen. Okay, they're just going to slam him into the wall. Peter does find the angle. The aftershocks go down, and now Daystar should be able to help get rid of this Poppy. He goes in, sees that the Poppy is dead, and then ults his way out again. A 1-for-1 trade. Himself feels like he does have a slight tempo advantage on the map right now. Is Peter going to walk over towards Kellen? They find one another. As Diablo hit by the volley, and the arrow going to connect as well. An instant cleanse They do manage to get that cooldown, and Peter able to heroically charge his way out as now Cuz getting aggressive himself. That's a great pillar as BDD gets in there. Daystar doesn't get the shuriken backflip, and out they go. Kellen will be secured. And KT, just a swift teardown of the Leona. Yeah. Still looking very rough for Perfect at the same time. We're seeing a few more blue numbers coming on through, though, as now Kellen getting pushed towards his former teammate. Another great pillar to come in as Kellen, he just come out of the death chamber, guys.
This is such a hard game to play Leona because you're in a situation where anytime you step up, there's pillars, there's Ashlows, there's CC from Poppy and Rise, and I mean, I guess Jax if he's ever there. But it's so hard to escape.
Goalie wall as he gets the ward down. Stuns things up as now Raptor is making his way in. And the Maiden going aggressive. Diablo moves down and Cerberus is not going to die. It is going to be the Rift Herald secured on the other side of the map for KT. But it is going to be first turret. Oh no, it's not first turret actually, so we won't get feats of strength just yet. KT had already taken down the turret on the top side. I tell a lie.
Get in there, it's 5,000 HP. Cuz is trying to charge in.
And the Pillar Man can actually get a bunch done here with the fact that it is the Mountain Rift. Whole bunch of extra terrain is there as it is Raptor securing the dragon. And now Cuz could be in a bit of trouble. He subjugates though and stays alive for a long time. Doctom trying to get that damage down. It's Perfect. He needs to be with Doctom. He does find the kill, but it's only onto the Leona still. Perfect's in there with full health. And Daystar getting some work done on the back end of the fight. BDD still alive, but it's actually BNK FEARX that win the fight and get the dragon, and Sobro is in a side lane.
They didn't TP the Yorick in. They know what they're doing. Harley pick. Herald's going to come down mid.
Yep, should be a turret as BNK not going to be able to take, not going to be able to defend that one. Speaking of not defending stuff, Sobro is just able to push this wave in and there's no one there to catch it.
Oh, they're actually all going down here.
Yep, Goalie Wall comes in. He's just going to Realm Warp his way out of it. Cuz comes through one more time, has a very spooky pillar, and Sobro is just going to get destroyed. Nothing they can do about that one as Raptor is going to get hit with an arrow. It looked like he didn't even really notice as he goes back in. Doctom is executed in an instant, and they'll take the outer turret at the same time.
Not a Jax, and they kind of just decimate Doctom in a moment.
Yeah, there's nothing he could really do. KT are now going to be able to find this outer turret on the bottom side. That's going to even out the turrets here momentarily. Sobro is just going to make that an impossible choice. As this inner turret goes down, my god, he does so much damage.
Yeah, he just smashes that. And now able to move over towards the dragon.
Yeah.
Likely to join this fight if they need him.
OPLoLReplay going to connect onto the Poppy. There's the Void Seeker as well. Good steadfast presence denies the entrance there from Kellen as the arrow is going to connect onto the Yorick. BDD able to now just machine gun the spells on top of him, and he does finally manage to lock that one down. Now Raptor, we're getting so much value out of the ulti. He goes back in. The killer instinct from Diablo is exactly that, and he is going to get pillared and taken down. KT finally getting themselves a decent team fight. Daystar surviving. But the main thing is, KT will be able to deny this dragon.
Honestly, BNK FEARX, lucky didn't get aced in that situation. Daystar and Kellen so low HP to get away from that one, and KT were hunting for more, but they started up.
I mean, there was a minion wave. The minion wave told them exactly what was going on.
That doesn't help either.
Yeah, Cuz coming on over. And the Otacon is down to 50% health. Cuz is nowhere near, but they go for the turn. They look for Perfect, who will just get chomped down and destroyed. BDD now trying to find his way in here as Daystar is chasing after him, but he is keeping BDD out of the fight for the moment. The Maiden is going to be taken down and the Otacon resets. 37 seconds on Perfect. They've still got some time with the man advantage here on BNK's side, but instead they look for the pillars. Raptor is going to use his ult so effectively, but it's ultimately not enough as Cuz is just chomping them all out. The flash forward and he kills Diablo for a triple. Still, it's only Doctom left alive, and these solo laners are going to try and kill Otacon as Daystar is almost dead. Okay, Doctom.
Maybe they don't go
walking back to mid lane, and yeah, they don't go back to Otacon.
To the mid lane. What other choice is there at this point?
That's how it's going to go. The Jax has got the memo where side lanes exist. Sobro needs to figure that out himself. That's all right. The Mountain has come on in as, oh dear. Kellen probably didn't want to land that. As, yeah, he's going to go down very, very low. Hasn't died just yet, but BDD will find it. The Dragon was started here as the world's smallest Realm Warp is going to deliver KT right on top, and Doctom took it. I have no idea why. Still Sobro getting amongst it. The goalie wall is so strong. PDD goes golden, but it means he doesn't have the damage. And now Daystar is put in the rune prison. He goes golden himself, but he's buying time for his teammates to come over. And Peter is going to get taken out. PDD is throwing cues towards Cuz, but they're not going to be hitting onto BNK, so they'll get soul point. And this game has devolved.
Look, sometimes if a strange blue man asks if you want to take a ride with him...
There's certainly been many a team's demise. And KT, we know they can get in there at a moment's notice. Hopefully Doctarm is not going to take the Realm Warp as they just get rid of them. Cuz comes on over and just says, thank you very much. Peter with a glorious keeper's verdict. And the verdict is in. BNK FEARX, you are staying here for an extra game. It's either 11-0 or 0-11.
But the farm's always low no matter what.
Yes, no matter what. It's all right, Raptor looking for an angle, doesn't find it at all as he flashes in. I don't know about that one, but he does get the ult down and keeps himself alive. And there's the keeper's verdict again from Peter. He has decided that he is not losing this game. And another gorgeous pillar from Cuz. This guy's Trundle is so good. Diablo keeping himself alive for a long time. Honestly, his Kaiser has been fantastic, but he's just not the main story. And the Ignite isn't enough to kill Daystar. But it is enough to give KT a Baron, most likely.
We'll be able to move towards that. It's 48 seconds till the Dragon, though, which is sold for BNK FEARX. They should be able to shred this down quickly, reset, get over there. BNK FEARX. The only problem is they don't have TP and Soboro, and he spawns about when the Dragon does.
Yeah, so
it's gonna
they
make it
should
hard.
be able to get over there. They're going to go for an instant reset, 30 seconds to get back towards that Dragon Pit. Yeah, he was actually still right next to them, so it was totally fine. Soul point for both teams, ladies and gentlemen. The teams will kill the Dragon. The soul is not going to mean the end of the game, though. We're going to have to wait. Diablo broke.
That's not good.
Did he? No, he didn't break it. That was Azonia's, as he's got almost...
Push. And Soboro is just trying to help clear these waves, and they're struggling. And remember, Peter has ult, so if he knocks some people away, they can just take structures.
Yeah, and they didn't even need it. As maybe it's not my storyline that I was looking for. I honestly did just want as much League of Legends as possible.
Cuz is even body blocking.
Yeah, as there's the flash in from Kellen. BDD just says no. And so does Peter. Oh, Diablo is just left with his pants down, ladies and gentlemen. The turret is going to be taken out. Daystar, he's in his shroud, but unfortunately there is no good place to go as the Realm Warp brings KT, and Doctarm, he takes it this time, and this time doesn't instantly die. That is character development, ladies and gentlemen, and that is us getting delivered to a game number 3, a 6th gamer. Here on this Sunday, there is no cringe to be found. Daystar goes golden. He looks a little bit flashy, but he still loses the game. As we have a bunch of animal suggestions. Unfortunately, we ran out of, there were no more animals. It was Ezreal and Syndra, so it was, you know...
From Daystar, but kind of...
Oh, if at first you don't succeed, let's go for it one more time. But Soboro comes on over. In comes Raptor, but Cuz is there with the Cyclone. BDD able to get some sidestepping done, but the culling comes through and cuts down the Syndra. First blood going over to Diablo. This is what the space was talking about. This is danger for KT. Daystar sniped, and Doctarm gets one too.
Great ult coming in from Doctarm to trade it back evenly. I was going to say, it's kind of crazy KT were able to get that first grub given BNK FEARX's bot lane was on the top side. And now, Perfect also making some trouble for Raptor. He's just trying to do the grubs, man. Leave him alone.
Exactly. It's so rude. Kellen is going to be here. That's going to guarantee that these grubs do go down.
I will say, one of the things that have come from this, Doctarm pretty far behind in farm. 20 CS down.
Yeah, it's actually kind of huge.
So the swap came through from Diablo. He's really had pace in the lane. He didn't move over initially to help with that play.
Actually, potentially saving Perfect's life in that brush there as Peter comes in. I don't know about this one. He's got the Unbreakable Will and just doesn't use it. Finds a Pulverize here onto the Pantheon. They dive on top of him. Raptor is going down solo. The culling is soaked entirely by Perfect. And now Kellen is down so incredibly low. Daystar comes in, he's in amongst 3 people, and he survives! It's a double kill for Diablo as BDD trying to get out of there. He scatters them, but they are not weak, ladies and gentlemen. Daystar picks up the kill, and it looked psycho.
Lucian, we said about getting ahead of the curve. We said about, Kellen.
Dear. I think Kellen is going to have to use the door. He does, and it doesn't do enough. They walk around the door.
Well, if someone was going to face check and die, it might as well be Kellen.
What is he focused? Is he paying attention? As Daystar pokes his head out of the brush. Don't know about that one. As he throws down the seismic shove, but it doesn't hit the mark. Doctom looking for some angles is perfect. He's level 11. It's Dominus time, baby. Daystar, though, is still alive. Doctom wanting to get that last auto. He gets in there, but so does Peter. And the knockups from Cuz are massive. Diablo tries to get out, but it does not work. And BDD unleashes the power on BNK FEARX. Sobero doing some of those Cassante things, but it does not matter. That's an ace for KT.
Perfect's angle in that fight was perfect, I guess. Able to come in. The CC had been burned. BNK FEARX didn't have the tools to peel him away. Sobero did his best, but get that spike swirly, and it's a lot of burst damage to a Cassante who has 0 magic resist in his build.
And that barely even matters that much, because Syndra starts doing true damage later on into the game as well. So this is BDD starting to get into the swing of things on the Syndra. Still hasn't really worked the way that we were expecting it to, as now Peter looking to wrap around. Sobero gonna get headbutted back, and every time these Dark Spheres land, it is looking real scary. And over the wall goes Doctom. They're gonna finish off the turret here as he looks to go all out to get all the way out. And he might be able to do so, but still the turret is gonna go down. And never mind, he's not getting out. Doctom gets the Conqueror Proc, and never mind, True Shot Barrage not going to land. Sobero lives. And now in the mid lane, the Rift Herald is going to be thrown down. Daystar on the top side of the map as well. And so it's one turret, first turret blood, going over to KT on the bottom side of the map. But 2 turrets going towards BNK, and Sobero survives.
Pretty nice play there coming out from Sobero to dodge all those skill shots and make them invest more time.
Deal is Kellen.
Not again.
No. Oh, dearie me. Oh dear.
You walked over a ward. You even autoed it. You knew it was there. Corner.
Also, if you're standing in a position where people are hitting you from a specific angle, it's good. And if you get headbutted back after you've put up the directional thing, and then it's hitting you in the soft spot, it's not great. It's okay. Perfect is now the one that's in trouble. He's going to get flung back into the bad guys, as now he's slicing, dicing, flashing away, but he's still dead. And BNK going to be able to grab another kill for themselves.
A lot more brushes and stuff to get control off. You can see the extra on there. For a second ago, Raptor was hiding inside. A lot of things that will just explode you if you face check them, you know? Yep. A game with Syndra, Pantheon, Taliyah feels scary.
Yeah, you can see Daystar and Raptor doing it on the other side, as Raptor is going to dive towards Cuz. BDD will find him though, and there's the Unleashed Power. Raptor down so low, the flash forward, and Daystar is also going to die. They thought they were setting the trap, but KT, they spring it and turn it back towards them. Scatter the weak, maximum range from BDD, but Sobero almost manages to make it happen. It's BDD that locks him down in the end. It was almost a cute way out, but in the end, it is going to be feats of strength going to KT. They could get Drake and Articon and out a turret.
And Raptor, a bit of a flub on that one, ends up committing his abilities, uses his E in the wrong direction, and BDD immediately punishes, and now mid-tier 1 taken, Dragon taken. That gold lead that was dead even, 2,000 now, and you can see mid-jungle top really where the advantages are.
And, like, I want you to tell me, Ox, which series was closer? Full Health is trying to push away the Renekton, and KT still looking for a fight. There's the stun with the scatter. And the Mystic Shot, my god, the damage is kind of absurd. Sobero not able to find the Q. And Perfect gonna get flashed on here by Kellen towards the top side. We get the full zoom out as Raptors come back. That is the Crocodile going down, but another Raptor is going to fall. And it's Doctom that collects that kill. And now they're trying to burst this one down. They might be able to do so, but the culling comes through. Diablo looking to try and knock them down. Sobero happy to get out of the fight. As now Peter down to 100. The scatter is once again phenomenal. And KT just have that little bit more left in the tank. BNK will be cut down.
Doctom doing so much on this Ezreal, landing Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot. BDD as well, clean with the abilities, and they hold strong.
Okay. Okay, I guess they just can. It's only Daystar.
Plenty of sustain as well with the Wukong, so he'll be fine in this situation. And for a game that felt so even, so neck and neck, it's exploded in favor of KT.
I don't know how BDD did that geometry, by the way. He had orbs in exactly the right positions The double stun to truly turn everything around.
FEARX, why are you still on Arakan? You're getting chunked out. You're setting him up for the smite steal.
Well, Peter's going in. Daystar might be taking a long way out through the Death Chamber, but instead, they look to get on top of Cuz, but he has the Cyclone. He's able to knock them all up into the sky, and KT are now just a steamroller. This roller coaster is going through all the other carriages right in front of them. Kellen's gonna get taken down. It's a double for the Croc. It's a clean ace for KT, and an inner turret will follow. They might even just try and win the game. They got a Baron, they got a lot of damage.
They got time, and a game that felt down to the wire is suddenly KT's completely in control. This is the team who are on that huge win streak. This is the team making a claim to try and stay in that legend group. And honestly, if they keep playing like this, they deserve to be there.
They 100% do. They keep that win streak alive. You're exactly right, Orcs. That's the big deal. They also do not want to kill the Nexus before they've killed Kellen another time. However, the minions will do it for them.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.